When I'm sick, coffee tastes terrible. Normally, I like coffee, especially strong coffee. Don't waste good water by serving me weak coffee. As I sense I'm making a recovery from whatever has been ailing me, I keep trying to drink coffee. When it tastes good again, I know I've recovered. Now, it may not be coffee for you, but I suspect when you're sick, you too lack an appetite for your favorite beverage or food. Now, it's not just beverages and food for which we might have an appetite. Our appetites are far-reaching beyond the dining table. We can have an appetite for success, attention, adventure, sensual pleasure, revenge, spending money, and the list goes on and on. Some appetites are good and some aren't. And some appetites are either good or bad, depending on a variety of factors. So, where does our appetite for God fit into all of this? Nothing is bigger, more important, or more impressive than God. Yet, it's so easy to seek our greatest satisfaction in something other than God. This is not healthy. Our greatest appetite should be to get to know God better, be closer to God, and conform our living to please Him. The Bible tells us in Psalm 37, verse 4, "Delight yourself in the Lord." The problem is that none of us delight in God like we should, including myself. The diagnosis is that we are spiritually sick. That's why we lack a proper appetite for God. The solution is not found by ignoring our condition, by distracting ourselves with feeding other appetites. The great Christian Augustine said in a prayer to God, "Our hearts are restless until they rest in Thee." Nothing will ever satisfy what only God can satisfy. We have a God-shaped vacuum that only God can fill. The solution is also not found in trying to act religiously. The 16th century German monk and reformer Martin Luther stated, "Of a truth, I was a pious monk and kept the rule of my order more strictly than I can tell. If ever a monk got to heaven by monkery, I was determined to get there. I and others too have toiled to the utmost with a deadly sincerity to bring our hearts and consciences to rest and peace before God, and yet could never find that same peace amidst such horrible darkness." The solution is found by embracing the right perspective. The truth is, we need God's help to put God first in our lives. If you read the Bible, it becomes evident that God is more anxious to make Himself known to us than we are to have Him make Himself known. The best thing to do is to admit we don't have it in us to make Him the most important part of our lives and to ask for His help. Join me in asking Him for a greater appetite for Him. When I satisfy my appetite for a cup of coffee first thing in the morning by lifting a steaming cup of it to my lips, it's not a duty but a delight. But that doesn't happen when I awake in the morning sick, only when I'm healthy. Putting God first shouldn't be a duty but a delight. We just need to ask Him, as the great physician, to make us spiritually healthy so we have an appetite for Him. The psalmist says in Psalm 34, verse 8, "Taste and see that the Lord is good." God bless you.